I'm going to show you how to turn an old railing from this to this. My husband and I will be replacing these wrought iron railings, which have to be at least 50 years old. And as you can tell, they're not very sturdy, and this one is held up with a rock. I want to thank Muzata for sponsoring this video and sending me the cable railing system. I'll be sharing my honest experience throughout the installation. And if you're interested in what I'm using, I'll link it below. That's not safe.
I went with a Muzata system because I wanted something that felt modern and high-end because these old dated railings had to go, but I also wanted to install them myself.
This railing is so unsafe. Look how easily I can remove it.
We started by laying out all the posts to figure out exactly where they needed to go. Muzata actually offers a completely free personalized design service, so I sent them a picture of my space and they created a customized guide showing us exactly where all the posts needed to be. Since we were installing the railings into limestone and concrete, I needed to use expansion bolts, which basically they expand and stay secure in the stone as you tighten the bolt. After confirming where the posts were going, we marked where we needed to pre-drill the holes. This drill bit was a carbide tipped masonry bit for the stone we drilled into, and we marked the bit at the length of the bolts to make sure we were drilling deep enough so it fits in to secure the posts. Get rid of that dust, but with your PPE because you do not want to inhale that. To secure the posts, you want to hammer in the expansion bolts. You should shim as needed to make sure it's level.
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
Then we used a wrench to fully tighten each bolt, making sure the post was nice and sturdy. Once everything felt secure, I trimmed off the excess part of the bolts that were sticking up so the footplate covers could fit nicely over the base. Next, we added the brackets that attach the handrail to the posts. I'm using two different types here, adjustable brackets for the sloped part of the railing and flat for the straight sections. Okay, this was probably the most complicated part for me, maybe because I am terrible at math. We had to measure the angle of the stairs. To figure out the cut angle, you had to take 180 minus the stair angle and then divide that by 2. Once both pieces are cut, they connect using this vertical pivot connector. I was so nervous making these cuts because we really only had one shot and I wanted to make everything line up perfectly. But we measured about 1,000,000 times and thankfully it looks pretty good. To connect the handrail, you want to drill holes through the railing and the connection pieces where you need those. Once we had the handrails positioned on the brackets, we marked exactly where the holes needed to go underneath. Then we drilled and threaded the holes before screwing securely into place. Now we're basically going to repeat the entire process on the lower railing that leads down in my driveway. This one was actually in there pretty good, so we had to cut it out. And remember earlier when I said Muzata gives you a personalized plan for your exact space with all the measurements for free? Well, this is your sign to follow it, because for some reason we installed one of our posts about 1 inch too far back. And you wouldn't think too much of it, but it completely threw off where the handrail needed to sit. So yes, we had to undo the railing, move the post 1 inch forward, and reinstall it. Definitely not our favorite part of the project, but once we fixed that, everything lined up perfect. From there, we installed the rest of the lower handrail the exact way we did on the upper section. Now for the fun part, we finally get to add the cables and finish the railing. For my setup, I'm using a combination of Muzata's cable fittings. One end of the cable uses a fixed end fitting, which just like all the other ends of the cable, it's tightened with these small set screws, which grip the cable and lock the end securely in place. On the other end, there's a tensioner, which actually is what lets you tighten the cable once everything is in place. Muzata has different hardware configurations depending on whether you're working on a straight run, stairs, or a corner. Then it's really just working your way through each cable in the specific order shown in the manual. Once the cables are ready to be tightened, Muzata includes a socket tool that fits over the tensioning fitting so you can turn it with the Allen wrench on the other side to get that tension just right. You'll also have a few different types of washers depending on whether you're working with a straight or sloped section and whether it's an end post or a middle post. You'll see in your personalized guide which ones you're supposed to use where. One important thing when working on stairs is putting that angle washer in on both ends. Do you see how it doesn't sit flat here? it kind of sits at an angle. It's so your cable is at the correct angle going down the slope. I know this sounds like a lot of information, but this part really isn't that difficult. It's just a little tedious. My advice is get a good audiobook and get those cables on because it is well worth the look when it's finished. As you start getting the cables in place, you can finally see everything come together, and honestly, this part is so satisfying because it really looks so nice. I also forgot to mention I use a little concrete filler to patch the holes from our whoopsie when we put that post in the wrong spot. It looks kind of noticeable up close, but since I finished it, I haven't noticed it at all. Since we had to cut the stainless steel handrails with a chop saw, some of the ends were a little rough and discolored from the heat. So I smoothed them back out with some fine sandpaper, touched up the ends with the recommended spray paint, and then added the end caps for a nice finished look. Something I really love about this cable railing is the value. A professionally installed railing could easily cost thousands, so being able to DIY this with the Muzata kit gives you that high-end custom look for so much less. The cables are strong but thin, so they really open up our small landing without blocking the view. And just like that, the railing is done. I can't believe how much this changed our space. I have been looking at those outdated, broken, wobbly railings for years, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that they're gone. If you're thinking about tackling your own railing, I'll have everything we use from Muzata linked below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next project.